Hello, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of Charlotte Today on Facebook Live. I'm Mia Atkins. This is Eugene Robinson. Eugene, great to see you again this morning.
You know, this is what I love about Facebook Live because it gives you a bigger platform. I mean, for all the people who just kind of tune in and they watch Charlotte Today and we have our chefs on and we'll be talking food, you only get a little snippet of it. You don't get a chance to meet the chef. You don't get a chance to go ahead and really talk about the food and really chop it up about the food. But Facebook Live gives us this opportunity. Now, we got a partnership with Compare Foods that we absolutely love, and we've been doing this. I think this is our third Facebook Live with the chef, and so I cannot wait to get started.
Eugene, I'm so excited, and something to point out to everyone watching right now before we jump into things, this is a very interactive experience. So if you have questions for the chef, if you have anything that you want to know about cooking, anything you want to know about anything, we'll answer anything, any question you want, just comment below and we'll pull it up on screen and answer it right here on Facebook Live. I think it's time to bring in our chef.
Yeah, we got a special chef for you to bring him on in. Got to introduce him for me, Mia.
This is Chef Santana, everyone. He's going to be joining us today to cook up some good food. Chef Santana, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Once again, you were already on the Charlotte Today show. You made this amazing dish of vegetables. But before we get to that, we want to kind of dive a little bit deeper and get to know you just a little bit more. So we have got some questions for you just to go ahead so our audience can go ahead and say, oh, they feel like they get to know the chef.
Yes. All right. Well, let's jump right into it, Santana, because we want to know everything there is to know about you. Just to start off, we obviously know you're a chef, but bring us back to when this all started for you and when you realized that cooking was your passion.
Definitely. Let's see. So it all started actually as a kid. I used to cook with my father. Never thought I would be doing it professionally. I do remember working corporate. I was working in sales and marketing, not really enjoying what I'm doing. So I figured I wanted to go follow a dream. And so I used to sell plates at work and everything, and that was going well. So I decided just to kind of just detach from that and just learn how to or pursue cooking and mixology on a professional level. So that's what started it on a professional level. I since then moved from Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to New York City to train. I went to the Culinary Institute of America. I trained under chefs like Marcus Samuelson. I worked under brands for Danny Meyer, a lot of the bars around New York. And I just got a lot of professional training and polishing out there. And it's actually a year today that I'm back in Charlotte. I'm back in Charlotte as a year today, I believe. And it's been a beautiful year here. It's been a beautiful year. It feels good to be a professional back here in Charlotte. It's been 17 years since I've been here.
And Chef, you mentioned about your dad. You said that you were influenced by your dad. Take me back to that time with you and your dad cooking. What was that experience like? And did you know that you were actually in a trade school and actually an apprentice? Did you even feel that way as a young boy?
Oh, not at all. My father always had aspirations to be a food entrepreneur as well. I remember he came up with this development of these egg rolls that we call soul rolls now. It was like 1997. I was in 7th grade. And no, I really didn't want to be a chef at that point. He wanted me, he would wake me up in the morning to help prep food and prep ingredients. And I was like, this is not for me. I'm going to be a graphic designer, things like that. So yeah, I didn't realize I was in an apprenticeship.
Oh my gosh. Well, now you've found your passion. And again, I want to point out, we have somebody commenting that it's so important to love what you do. So if you have any questions you want us to ask the chef, feel free to drop those below. But we're going to keep asking you some stuff here because I think we wanted to do a rapid fire, learn some things about the chef today. So we're just going to throw some random questions at you, completely unrelated, so we can learn a little bit more about who you are as we get into this today. So let's start off. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? That's interesting. You know what? I'm going to go with Bloodsport, 1989. I don't know why.
Bloodsport, 1989.
I'm pretty sure if I think deep, there's other movies, but we're going to go with Bloodsport right now.
Okay, who's your favorite actor?
Favorite actor. Oh, favorite actor.
Come on, Chef. This is rapid fire, Chef.
You know what? Let me give it to Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
That's a great one. All right. Favorite color?
Black.
Oh, what's your favorite food to eat?
Favorite food to eat? Let's say Pizza. Oh, yeah, pizza. Good
That's
slice
mine
of pizza.
too. All right, if you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Take me to Ghana. Take me to Ghana or Egypt.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds good. All right, let me go back to high school. Did you actually play any instruments in high school? And if you did, what did you play?
Of course. Oh, now I was what you called a band junkie back in the day. So
Woo,
yeah, I
me
played
too.
the mellophone. It was like the marching French horns. I played a little trumpet. Yeah, that was my life. Anyone who knows me from high school would think that I would be doing something with music right now.
Eugene and I both played music, so
Yeah.
we're right there with you.
What did you play?
I played the
saxophone.
flute.
Yeah, I play saxophone. She plays the flute.
Okay, woodwinds.
Yes, absolutely. There we go. All right. We have a question from a viewer here. What was your favorite and least favorite part of culinary school?
Ooh, my favorite part of culinary school was the fact that I'm just gonna go ahead and say it was the best culinary school in the world. So the program was amazing. It was intense. What I didn't like is the amount of discipline that I had to have because I went a little later in age. Most of the students there was like anywhere between 18 and 20. I was 28. So I was living on campus. So it was that reset button that I had to push.
And let me tell you, let's stay with the culinary. What did you learn there that as a young man and you're with your dad and you're learning this trade and you don't even know that you're learning this trade, and now you go to culinary school, what did you learn that really kind of completed who you are as a chef?
Maybe I would have to say it was the French technique. It was the technique.
What do you mean?
So pretty much like learning the proper cuts, learning the proper verbiage and things like that. I might need to do like a small dice, making sure that all of my ingredients are cut in the same size so my food can cook evenly. Things of that sort and that nature.
Got it. Okay. And what is your favorite dish to cook?
My favorite dish to cook, I'm gonna say right now because it changes often, but it's my oxtail and grits.
That's what I'm talking about, oxtail and grits. Okay, chef, you got a place called The Tavern that you're working at the Tavern. Tell us about that place because I know you got.
So I'm doing a residency right there right now. I'm doing brunch every Sunday. So although like you already learned, I'm classically trained in French cuisine. I call my cuisine modern diasporic food. So my flavors, you'll see flavors and ingredients coming out of Africa, the Caribbean, and the American South where I'm from. And I just reinterpret that into my point of view. So I'm there on 300 East Moorhead Street. It's the Tavern. You'll catch me there every Sunday right now doing the residencies from 12 to 4.
Okay, everybody has to go check you out there. And people who watched Charlotte Today this morning got to see you cooking up some grilled veggies. And I think it's very hard for a lot of people who don't love to eat their vegetables. It's hard to find a way to cook them up in a way that makes them taste good. So let's talk about what you made on the show today.
Definitely. Are we talking about the chayote here? Because we made a few vegetables.
Hey, before we go to the chayote, coach, before we go to a chef, I want you to tell me about the grill because I understood the grill. You had the grill set to two different heating temperatures. Why was that important?
Definitely, this is my thing. So I want to have one hot side and one warm side. So when I'm finished with something, or I need to slow down the cooking because sometimes things can start to cook fast. So let's move it to the right side of the grill, whichever grill is the least hottest, and I'll put it over there and just kind of let them just sit over there and just retain that heat. If it needs some additional cooking, we can just let it rock over there.
So is that typically the way it is done? So before you start cooking, you got to prep your grill. So what is the preparation process? And is that preparation process for everyone who's going to be grilling?
If I'm understanding the question correctly, so when I go on the grill, especially if it's like a home grill, of course, whether it's electric or whether it's gas or charcoal, I try to make sure that, I clean the grill off really well. And then, of course, if you have the gas grill, you can control the temperatures, right? So I put this on like a medium high to the left side, and on the right side would be like on a low to medium low. Now, if you're dealing with like charcoal, then of course you want to kind of like build the coals in a concentrated area and just kind of have that other area that's going to be a little cooler. If that answers your question.
Oh yeah, no, that definitely answers the question for me. So now, when you talked about the preparation of all the different vegetables, I understood too that some of the vegetables that you put on at different times. And why is that?
Definitely. So some things take a little longer, and I kind of want, well, I don't kind of want, I want everything to come up at the same time, right? So things that has longer cook time, I put those on the grill first, or things that can kind of retain heat, like potatoes can retain heat very well. So you can cook those early and then just put them to the side and they'll still retain their heat.
Okay, well, I gotta know, because a lot of people like to marinate their vegetables too. So what's the best way to really soak that in and make them taste so good?
Definitely. So I always go, honestly, so if you want to, yeah, you can marinate the vegetables with maybe like a herb olive oil or something. So you do olive oil or any type of cooking oil that you usually like to use. So play with the herbs. You can go cilantro, parsley, thyme, rosemary, oregano. You can just kind of blend all that together, and then you have your marinade. But honestly, vegetables in its purest form, because I'm one of those people like you. Like I used to always struggle to eat vegetables. It's not my jam, right? So I got to make sure that I cook them good. And in the simplest form, you can cook these vegetables with just salt, pepper, and then squeeze with acid on the end, like some fresh lemon juice or some fresh lime juice. It turns your vegetables into a fantasy.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I just tried something yesterday. My friend made me lunch. She made me a little veggie mix salad, and she made a little marinade like that, and it was incredible. So that's a great point.
Okay, Chef, you got some items that's there on your table. What you got to take us through and walk us through what we will be seeing?
Right now, we're going to talk about this chayote right here. Like,
okay,
listen, I'm trying to put chayote on the map, okay? This is chayote. It kind of looks like an apple, pear type situation. It's actually a squash. It's in the squash family. Now, it doesn't really have much flavor, so you have a lot to play with. So when you cut this chayote, you can dice it, you can slice it, you can eat it raw. I like to hard roast it. That way you can kind of get that sweetness out of there. You can boil it. That's not my type of style, but you can boil it. You can grill it like I've done on the grill. And then you can just eat this thing raw. It's really good. It's crispy. It's fresh. And if you're not a squash person, like if you overcook squash, it gets real soggy. You have to put in a lot of effort to actually make this soggy. Okay, so.
So so what? Take me through. I can cut this and eat this raw, like a raw potato.
Yeah, so check this out. So
yeah,
you can cut, like what I would like to do is just cut it straight down the middle, and you see that there's a seed right here, right? You can take that out with your hand, or you can just take a spoon and just kind of cut it out, right?
Oh, this is kind of juicy, actually.
Right? And then from there, you can just, however you like to cut your vegetables, right? So let's say we're eating it raw, right? I would probably slice it in a julienne, something like this. You can make a coleslaw out of this as well. You can go the jicama route almost. And then take a little bite of it, right?
I'm gonna try it.
Hold on, you said a julienne. What's a julienne?
Oh, sorry, look, I'm nerding out. Sorry. So that is like those are small strips. Those are like small strips and sticks of like, it's a knife cut.
So, Chef, we got to know how are these grown? Where do these come from?
Definitely. So they're starting to grow these here in the Americas now, but these are really found in Mexico, right? If you go to Mexico, you'll find these in tacos, and also throughout the Caribbean, you can find them. In Puerto Rico, I was just in Puerto Rico not too long ago, and I see they do a dish called relleno, I think is what it's called. And what they do is they take this out, they stuff it with like hamburger meat or some type of protein. And yeah, this is how it's prepared. But you mainly find these in Mexico and throughout the Caribbean, Latin America, that area.
Okay, and I think somebody was asking too, what spices go best with this and how we should prepare it.
Whatever spice you like to put on your vegetables, you can do that. Like I said once before, you can always go salt, pepper, and then once it's finished, squeeze it with fresh lime juice or lemon juice. If you want to go like a chimichurri or salsa verde, or you want to put some green seasoning on it, you want to put seasoning. I grew up on Lowry seasoning salt. If you want to put that on there, you can.
Okay, Chef. Now we go from the chayote to those plantains that's in front of you. Those plantains, I understood you left in the skin. Why did you do that?
Oh, okay. So you think about this black plantain right here. So when I was grilling this, they become real sweet. Some people think that you got to throw this out, right? So just let me take you through this. This is the first stage of the plantain, right? This is more savory. It's like almost a potato or starchy. Delicious, right? Real savory. And then you start to go to these right here when they turn yellow, where they become sweet, right? And then they turn black. You can have a lot of fun with these black plantains. I like to put these things on the grill, and I leave them in the skin because it acts as a pocket. It steams it, it cooks it, and it's a nice presentation as well. And once you finish, it just pops right out. You can have this with ice cream, put some walnuts on there, maybe even a plantain sundae. I just thought of that. Plantain sundae.
Plantain sundae? That sounds incredible. So there's really a different flavor and a different way to use the plantains through every stage of its life. And I think that's so important to point out, because just because it's starting to get older, it's turning black, doesn't mean that you need to throw it away. Each stage tastes different and has a different benefit to it.
It does. And the last stage, like I said, the blacker that it gets, the more of a fantasy and experience you're going to have with it.
Chef, you mentioned a number of things on the show. You talked about caramelization when you were working with the corn. What did you mean about a caramelization? Because I noticed it had those like grill mark lines on it.
Definitely. So caramelization is what happens when it starts to heat up, like when you heat up a vegetable and it starts to turn brown, dark, GBD, golden brown, delicious. It brings out the sugars in that fruit or that vegetable. And that's what caramelization is. Almost similar to what meat does, but when it's meat, it's more of like a Maillard reaction. That's what we call it, Maillard for meat, and we call it caramelizations for fruit and vegetables.
And let me ask you this other follow-up question to this, Chef. How do you know when to take it off the grill? I mean, I saw you moving things from hot to less hot. And how do I know? Do you got a temperature gauge out there? How do you know when that is actually done when it's cooked?
Honestly, yeah, you can use a temperature gauge. It might sound crazy, but it's also good to cook from instinct. If you're dealing with fruits and vegetables, there's no reason that you can't taste it from the raw state. So like you can always give your food a slight taste before you pull it out the grill if you want to.
Okay, so we have a question popping up here. Can you make tostones with plantains?
Of course. So you want to make tostones with this particular
Sorry,
plantain.
I pronounced that all kinds of wrong.
Tostones.
Tostones.
What is tostones?
Tostones is it's really nice. It's really nice. So you peel these plantains, and then you give them like a blanch. You blanch them in oil like a low temperature. So you let them simmer in the oil at like a low temperature, and you flip them. And then once they start to turn color, take them out and you smash them, and they spread out and they turn wide, right? And then you put them back on a more violent fry. It's almost how the Germans make their fries or the French make their fries. So it starts off at a slow blanch, and then you do more of a violent fry for the finished product. And then from there, you can have a lot of fun with it. You can put, like the Haitians, they like to put pickles on top of it. You know, pickles is like that pickled cabbage. It got a lot of spice to it. So these plantains take to a lot of seasoning. It takes the seasoning well. And you can have fun with it. Like put some braised beef on there or some hamburger meat or something like that on there. It's chicken. You can have so much fun with it.
So would I need to be concerned about putting the different spices on the different vegetables and it take away from the flavor of the vegetable? Do I need to be concerned about that?
No, I wouldn't be. At the end of the day, these vegetables, including the chayote, they are a touch bland. So you want to put a little love into them. So like whatever you usually like to cook with it, my whole thing is your kitchen, just experiment with it. It's never a wrong thing to do. And now the only thing you want to do is just make sure you hold back on salt. So it's always good to like start with a little bit of salt. And then if you need to adjust at the end, you can. You can always add more, but you can't take away from the salt, right?
Right. And so I think that a lot of people, at least for me, when I started realizing that fruit could go on the grill, there's so many ways to cook up fruit and make it taste delicious grilled. So what do you think the best fruit to put on the grill is?
The best fruit to put on the grill. I would have to go with peaches, right? I also take like so what I like to do for dessert, because I'm not a pastry chef by any means. Pastries kind of intimidate me to an extent. However, I will take like a pound cake, whether it's a delicious pound cake from the supermarket, whether one of my pastry chefs make me up a loaf of pound cake. I slice that bad boy, I put it on the grill. And before that, I'll cook the peach, like I put the peaches on the grill as well. Maybe make like a bourbon sauce or some type of caramel sauce. Again, there you go with your ice cream again. Pound cake, peaches, delicious. Grilled peaches, grilled pound cake.
So
it's summertime. Get funky with it.
So, Chef, we think about the vegetables as much more of a side dish. So what main dish would pair directly with these vegetables that you cooked?
As in like a protein?
Yes, and the protein. What would be the, I guess, the main entree, if you will? I'm not sure if that's correct.
Yeah, I heard you saying. Again, it's your kitchen. Do what you want to do, right? So it's like if you're cooking chicken for the night, if you're grilling chicken, sauteing chicken, baking chicken, add some chayote. Actually, add chayote just to your diet for a little while. This thing is almost on the brink of being like a superfood. It's super healthy, trying to lose weight, low in calories if you still need those carbs. It is good for your blood health, everything. So if you can keep this in your diet, you will see a lot of changes. And I'm not a health professional, so don't quote me on that. But I'm telling you, this right here is the superfood. But go back to your question, Eugene. Yeah, any protein. If you want to have a nice steak, grill a nice steak, add some tostones for it instead of the French fries, and then have you a side of chayote.
Okay, and
or you can make this to start. Like I say, I see in Puerto Rico they like to stuff it with their protein. So you can cut this thing in half and then make a little cup out of there, put it in the oven and roast it with your favorite protein. Be hamburger meat, turkey meat, ground turkey, ground beef.
It's
good, right?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. And the thing about it, like if you cut it, like you can cut it in slices like this, you can just put them on the grill like this or saute them just like that. Or you can cut them in chunks like this. You can do the same thing with that, right? I've seen people make fries out of them. You batter them, put them in the oven, deep fry them. It's kind of like it's the alternative to zucchini fries. So remember, it's a squash, right? So you can whatever you do to a squash, you can do to this as well. It just tastes a little better. It tastes better to me.
Okay, well, all of these ingredients that we've been talking about today, you can find at Compare Foods. So tell us why you think Compare Foods is such a great place to shop for all of your fresh ingredients.
I'm gonna tell you why Compare Foods is a great place to shop. Like going back to how I like to cook is I like to take ingredients from Africa, the Caribbean, and from the American South. And when I moved to Charlotte from New York, I was so used to it was very accessible to get these particular ingredients. And I was so nervous about not getting these type of ingredients. And I walked in Compare Foods, and there's an array, there's an abundance, a plethora of international ingredients, and you can find them. They're fresh, delicious. I strongly implore everybody just to have fun and just take a tour over there. It makes a fun date night too. So like if you have a date night, you guys can go shop at Compare Foods, pick out something different. You can read the instructions because there's a lot of instructions over there. It tells you how to prepare, what's it good for, and it'll make a great date night, something different.
And let me just say this quick.
I'm just saying.
And Chef, let me just say this quickly too. As me and I, we definitely toured the facility and had a great time and ended up shopping there. The prices were amazing. I had no idea that the prices were amazing for the food that they're giving you at Compare Foods.
It is another reason why I like going there. I do a lot of private dinners, so when I'm going to my when I'm going to my private dinners, it's like I keep the cost down by going to Compare Food. I really do. I'm so scared to talk about Chayote because Chayote is a good price too right now. If we keep on talking about it, they're gonna go up on the price when they find out how good it is.
I know, we just gave away the big secret. Now everybody knows about it. Well, Chef Santana, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you today, and people can find you on social media, right, to keep up with you, see what you're cooking, and maybe get some more tips from you.
Absolutely. And again, you can find me anywhere on social media, Facebook, Instagram, using my first and last name. That's Santana Burris. That's Burris with 2 R's and 2 S's. And again, I'm doing a residency at the Tavern, Charlotte. So you can find me every Sunday there from 12 to 4 doing my brunch at the Tavern, 300 East Moorhead Street. Come check me out.
Well, outstanding job, Chef. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and hopefully people got a chance to go ahead and get to know you just a little bit better. Here it is, everybody. Chef Santana Burris.